All right, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. Want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live. You know what? It's Monday afternoon, just hitting 4 o'clock, and we've got some breaking news, some special report. Mike, Hutch Jr., why don't you go ahead and tell us basically what is going on over in Motown right now?
Yeah, it sounds like Lions had that emergency practice, which I think everyone probably can agree that it was much needed. I did just check the injury report. Some good news coming out of it. Terrion Arnold was a limited practice today. Marcus Davenport was a full practice today. Miles Frazier was a full practice today. Kirby Joseph did not practice, so he still probably got 1 or 2 more days before we'll figure out him. But looks like some reinforcements are coming. But yeah, I think Dan Campbell and the team were not happy at that very bad game yesterday.
You know, as we all know, or at least I should assume most of us know, it's very, very rare for an NFL team to practice the day after a game. With it being a short week, I think it probably highlights things even more, probably raises more red flags. The Detroit Lions, we may be getting some guys back. I understand they didn't perform well on defense, offense, with everything yesterday. But you did find a way to win against a team that's beat the Eagles, beat the Bills, been in a close game a ton of different times, including yesterday. Just can't find a way to win it. When you look at some of these reinforcements coming back, do you think maybe Hutch Jr., that's why they're having the unheard of Monday practice at the NFL level?
Yeah, I think so, man. For these guys like Miles Frazier, snaps count. Davenport hasn't played since week 2, week 3.
Right.
So getting these guys back in, I know Pascal was a full practice today too. So, you're talking about that D line that's already loaded, where we watched Lee McNeil take snaps on the edge yesterday. There's no better time than to get some of these guys back. I would not mind Miles Frazier coming into this rotation of this O-line to help us out a little bit. I think he's going to be a nice piece for this O-line. And it's remained to be seen, but I don't know how bad Mahogany's injury was, but he could possibly return next week. If he's eligible to go. I don't think it's possible with that ankle or that leg.
Yeah.
I still think he's a couple weeks out, but Manu and getting Mahogany and these guys back is going to be huge. And like I said, any given Sunday, these guys you could lose to the worst teams in the league. The Giants, they're not a good team, but they play good teams well. If you guys go back and look at these guys, they've beat the Eagles. They almost beat Green Bay last week. They were, 3 points for beating the Cowboys and whatever, Cowboys are now 5-5. So I'm not saying they're good at all means, but Giants have competed with good teams, and
they have.
Lions almost ended up on the wrong side. They pulled it out, and but yeah, having this day after practice, a lot of those guys are beat up, just coming off that long game. And, I think this shows to the coaching staff that they were not pleased with that game yesterday.
Again, those just tuning in because I see it in the comment section a little bit here. Let me just put them up on the screen. I'll try to get to your questions as best we can. But for those who don't know, the NFL does not practice on Mondays, especially when you have a full week off, let alone when you're on a short week like the Lions are. I think we all agree, Hutch Jr., this is unheard of. Do you think it's more MCDC, the coach's staff, maybe feeling some pressure to get in extra snaps, reps, to prepare for Green Bay? Or do you think, man, they're just shaking their head going, we were that bad underachieving yesterday where we need the extra reps?
Yeah, it could be a mix of both. They got lit up by Jameis. There's no excuse for it. I haven't seen our defense just play that bad in a while. They got beat on some trick plays that were just unbelievable. Credit to the Giants. Backs against, they have nothing to lose, so they're pulling it out. But good God, Derek Barnes did not play well yesterday. He got beat a couple times.
He did.
Brian Branch was, he made a couple of decent plays, but, Meek got absolutely cooked by Wan'Dale Robinson, so, I think it's a mix of Kelvin Shepard probably isn't happy with his defense. I think MCDC wants to get these guys locked in. Who knows? It might have been a little bit of both where this team was already like, hey, we're playing the Giants. No need here. We're already looking till Thursday. Could have been a mixture of that. But, you got to focus on the game at hands. And this is just I was at that game, and I for sure was like, this is the worst I've seen our D play in a while after coming off that game against the Eagles. I for sure thought, hey, this is going to be one of those coast-to-coast wins. It turned out to be the other way, but we pulled it out. That's all you got to do in this league is just find a way to win and go win the games that you should win and need to win. And Green Bay is one of those where you need to win.
I did this on the morning show, Hutch, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. I thought the second half, the Lions offensive line actually played pretty well. First half, maybe Yodi didn't play so well. You could say maybe Glasgow. I think a lot of fans would agree those two got roughed up a little bit. With Frazier coming back, we've heard from all sorts of people with Sports Illustrated, ESPN, whoever you want to list out there, that this guy is the real McCoy. Do you think perhaps Lions coaching staff has said, man, Yodi, you're a great backup, great guy, but maybe we got to get Frazier in there at guard to try to solidify this line?
Yeah, I mean, Frazier, if anybody watched this guy at LSU, he was a really good old lineman. I was really happy with the pick and where we got him. I think he's going to be in the NFL for a long time, and he's going to be, a big anchor to this O-line. I would not be shocked at all if they do throw Frazier in place of Ioti. You could just tell there was some stuff that he was not ready for. Credit to the Giants D line. They probably have, if not one of the best D lines in the NFL. I mean, they did that without Dexter Lawrence towards the end of the game. And they also did not have Kayvon Thibodeau in that game. So who knows what that would have been like. But yeah, I mean, Graham did not play well. He just looked at times, just didn't know what he was doing. But credit to the Lions, man. They basically said, look, we're going to run towards our best tackle, which is Panay. And that's, sometimes that's what you got to do. You just got to put it in place and say, here, we're trusting our guys that have been here and the guys that, are stars, and go get it done.
Yeah, to your point, I think you're 100% right with Panay Sewell. And at least in my opinion, I get it, it's not going to be everybody else's opinion. I think Ratledge, he's not perfect by any stretch, but you can see clear development from the preseason to Green Bay to, I don't know, man, you want to say the middle of the season to where we are now. My view is he is moving better. He's blocking better, especially on that touchdown, the game-winning touchdown run. He really pancaked a guy and then got to the second level too. If it's not introducing new players, what could this emergency practice be?
Yeah, like I said, I think we've touched on it. Maybe Dan Campbell is, I think we're getting to a stretch of where he's probably telling his guys, look, man, we haven't been playing up to our standards. Even in some of the wins, if you go watch Dan Campbell talk about it, he says, we still have things to correct and we have not played our best football. I still don't think we've played our best football. I think we've kind of just played enough, like certain spots will play good and then it doesn't work out. So I think Dan Campbell is probably locking these guys in, telling these guys, look, hey, we got a big game. We got everything now is in front of us. You beat Green Bay. With the Bears' upcoming schedule, it gets harder for them. You beat Green Bay, you're back in the lead. And then you just got to go beat the rest of the teams, I put a prediction out there and I would, I could be wrong, but I would like to see us go into LA at 9-4 and face the Rams for the NFC. I mean, that could be well in front of us. But we just have to win the games in front of us, and we definitely can with some of the teams that we're playing. But yeah, I just think Dan Campbell and this coaching staff, I don't think they're happy with some of the things that are going on. They just look at points at times like they just didn't want to be out on the field. Like it was just like blown coverages. That one to Tracy. I mean, it was like a 40-yard screen pass, and no one was in 20 yards of them. And I was like, well, you just don't see that out of Kelvin Shepherd's defense. You haven't seen it. So I think it was just a mix of both. I don't think these coaching staffs were happy, and they're just snaps with these guys, trying to get them in and get them ready and just kind of correcting the stuff that needs to be fixed.
Guys, we'll go ahead and get you out of here. Hutch Jr., I know you got to get back to work, but what I can say, everybody, for the Lions coaching staff to call an emergency practice meeting, however you want to term it and word it, everybody get together, get on the field and do something, that says something's up in Motown. In all the decades I've covered Lions, I can't at least easily think of any time a coach said, hey, the day after a game, and I was talking to the wife about it, I can't think of it in college, I can't think of it in high school, I can't think of the professional level. The day after the game, that's 99.999% of the time a rest day. Dan Campbell's got another idea, though. He's getting the guys after it. There's something going on in Motown. They're trying to get ready for Green Bay. I think we all agree it's a big game. Let's see where it shakes out. Hutch Jr., thanks for getting this news to us. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out to everybody about all you do, where to find it, and how to support your content.
Yeah, as always, guys, you can find me on here with Dan. I appreciate you guys showing love every time. On Facebook, The Lions Den, and then on Twitter or X, you can find me at Superfan Hutch.
All right, guys, we'll get out after you. If we get more specifics on what the emergency practice is all about or why they're doing it, I'll try to get over to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, if you'd be so kind, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Go visit Superfan Hutch, show him some love too. We'll see you guys all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.